Speaking of things that just seem to never end, let's talk about the Bears stadium search. Today, the Bears brass gave their most thorough update yet on their stadium plans, and all the focus out of this seems to be moving toward two sites in Hammond and away from Arlington Heights.
All right, NBC5 got an exclusive preview of those comments on Monday from Bears chairman, you'll remember this, George McCaskey. NBC5's Rose Schmidt was in Hallis Hall today to ask McCaskey right there in person, as well as Kevin Warren, the CEO, where the team will end up. Rose.
Yeah, Allison and Alex, the Bears board actually voted back in June to focus on Hammond, and the execs say that has not changed. If it feels like this process has been dragging on and on and on, they say that's just because they're taking time to do things right. Lessons have been learned, but they don't feel they've made any mistakes along the way.
Our sole focus at this point in time is working on a world-class stadium and mixed-use development in Hammond, Indiana.
Bears CEO Kevin Warren is clearing up any confusion. He says the team could build a new stadium near the Lost Marsh Golf Course, but the spot a mile away at Wolf Lake Terminals is as good, if not better. That area is still being tested.
We do have one viable site in Hammond, Indiana, and we expect here to have another viable site and maybe to be able to merge those sites together.
Merging the sites together would mean the Bears would take over hundreds of acres of Hammond near Wolf Lake, right up against the Illinois border. And speaking of Illinois, lawmakers failed to reach a deal in Springfield back in May that would have provided tax breaks for a stadium in Arlington Heights.
We felt we had presented a pretty compelling case that a stadium in Arlington would be beneficial not only for the village of Arlington Heights, but for the community and for the entire state. Ultimately, that argument was unsuccessful.
Governor Pritzker says don't count out his state just yet.
We're working hard to make sure that there's an opportunity for the Bears to stay in the state of Illinois, whether it's in Chicago or in Arlington Heights.
The Bears execs have had occasional meetings with Illinois lawmakers.
There is nothing in writing. We don't have an offer from the state of Illinois.
Here's George McCaskey when he was asked whether he hopes Arlington Heights comes back on the table.
Somebody mentioned the commissioner. He has said to us many times in league meetings, hope is not a strategy. We have to deal with the here and now. We have to deal with real circumstances, and these are the real circumstances.
Now, Rose, you've been following this story from the very beginning, all the ins and outs, you know it. And the question we have tonight, though, is can the team really wait till that fall veto session before they can get something done to at least make Arlington Heights possible?
Well, Kevin Warren was asked about that today, and he basically said, all right, we're at the point where we're reaching that point, that pivotal point where we need a decision soon. The costs are going up. Time is of the essence. He also said this process gets a lot more complicated as time goes on. So it's not exactly an answer, but he also said his wife told him not to give any more timelines.
Yeah, because he's blown through a couple of those already.
Yeah,
as
so
we've already
he listened to his wife, and he didn't want to give us a spring or a fall or a summer timeline.
Yeah, always a good strategy there. Yeah.
But no shovels in the ground yet.
Okay. Thanks, Rose.
Thank you, Rose.